Good evening. You are listening to Special Report Sunday on Pidjen Radio. I am Jay Fisher. We want to talk tonight about a woman named Carla. Last name withheld at her request. And about the town of Presidio, Texas, which sits on the Rio Grande at the very bottom of the state, pressed right up against the Mexican border town of Ojinaga. Together those two towns form one of the oldest continuously inhabited communities on the North American continent. People have been living at that bend in the river for over 10,000 years. We think it is worth keeping that number in mind as we go. Carla is a schoolteacher. Has been for 16 years. The kind of person who shows up early and stays late and knows the name of every kid in the building. She is not someone given to dramatics. The people who know her well use that word, several of them, independently. Steady. They called her steady. She moved to Presidio 4 years ago from San Antonio, took a position at Presidio High School, and by all accounts settled in without trouble. Small town. Tight community. The kind of place where people notice when you arrive and notice when you leave and notice most things in between. Presidio has about 4,000 residents. It is one of the hottest places in the United States, routinely. In the summer the temperature climbs past 110 degrees and stays there. The landscape is Chihuahuan desert. Sparse. Flat in places and then abruptly not flat, the Chinati Mountains rising to the north, the river cutting through the lowlands to the south. There is one main road in and one main road out and both of them are very long. Carla started keeping a log in the fall of last year. She did not tell anyone she was doing it. She kept it on paper, not on a phone, not on a computer, and she kept the paper in a place she described to our reporter as somewhere nobody would think to look twice. The log began because of the lights. Presidio sits in one of the darkest sky corridors in the continental United States. There is very little light pollution out there. On a clear night, which is most nights, the sky is something people drive hours to see. The McDonald Observatory is up the road. Astronomers come from other countries. The darkness is a known quantity, a feature, a point of local pride. So when Carla began seeing lights moving over the Chinati Mountains at around 2 in the morning on a regular basis, she did not immediately assume she was misreading something. She knew what that sky was supposed to look like. She had been sleeping with the window open for 3 years. She knew the satellites. She knew the commercial flight paths. She knew the Border Patrol helicopters, the sound they make, the patterns they run. These were not those. She described them to our reporter as slow and low, moving without sound, changing direction in ways that fixed-wing aircraft do not change direction. She said on 3 separate occasions she watched one stop completely, hold position for several minutes, and then move again. She said they did not respond to the rhythms of anything with a schedule. She began asking around carefully. The way you ask when you are not sure yet whether the thing you are asking about will make you sound like a person worth listening to. A few of her neighbors had seen things they had not mentioned to anyone. A man who runs cattle on the western edge of town told her he had found 3 of his animals dead in a draw about a mile from his house, no tracks around them, no sign of predators, no explanation the vet could put a name to. He had written it off as bad luck. He said that twice. Bad luck. The way someone says a thing when they have run out of other words for it. The detail that brought this to our attention was not the lights. It was the radio. Carla has a shortwave radio she bought at an estate sale. Older unit, well maintained. She uses it the way people who live far from things use shortwave radios, to feel a little less far. In late October, she began picking up a transmission on a frequency she did not recognize. Not voice. Tones. Sequences of tones, repeating, not quite the same each time but close enough that you could feel a pattern without being able to name it. She recorded it on her phone held up to the speaker. She sent the recordings to 2 people. A retired signals intelligence officer she had a connection to through her family, and a radio hobbyist in New Mexico who runs a small monitoring blog. The retired officer listened and said he could not discuss it and did not respond again. The hobbyist in New Mexico said the frequency was not assigned to anyone. He said that did not mean no one was using it. He said some frequencies are quiet for years and then they are not quiet anymore, and the reasons for that are not always the kind of reasons that get written down anywhere public. He said he would keep an ear on it. 3 weeks later his blog went offline and has not come back. Carla is still in Presidio. She is still teaching. She agreed to talk to our reporter on the condition that nothing identifying was used. She said she did not want to stop being steady. That was the word she chose. She said whatever this is, she did not want it to take that from her. The tones on the shortwave stopped in December. She does not know why. She still checks. The lights have not stopped. The cattle rancher west of town lost 2 more animals in February. He is not calling it bad luck anymore. He is not calling it anything. He just stopped talking about it, which our reporter noted is a particular kind of answer. We do not know what Carla is hearing. We do not know what is moving over those mountains at 2 in the morning. We know that a signals officer would not speak and a hobbyist went quiet and a rancher stopped using words, and that those silences, taken together, have a shape. We thought you should know the shape of it. I am Jay Fisher. Be safe out there.